so the asylum seeker stories came about when Margaret Simons, the director of the Centre for Advancing Journalism here, contacted some students and said that she'd seen some documents that had been leaked from Manus Island. She didn't know that much about the nature of the documents at that point, but she thought that that some students were needed, or some help was needed to redact the documents, so to look through them and to get rid of any names or any identifying information that was within them about asylum seekers. So obviously redacting is something we've kind of come to know now, that there's been whistleblowing and various stories have come to light through these kind of large leaks of documents. So she had thought that process of just witnessing how that redaction works and why it's necessary would be useful for us as students. So it seemed like a really good opportunity. It seemed exciting as students, because you don't often get to be involved in investigative journalism of that sort. I have to admit that from the beginning it seemed like the redacting seemed something that was doable, but in terms of writing stories it just seemed something that would be really beyond us as students, or I know beyond me, thinking, well, this investigative journalism is in the realm of like some magical kind of superhuman power that takes years of journalism work to sort of hone in these skills. So I kind of thought, well, that's going to be impossible. But so, there's all these folders, and we were just like, and I remember thinking like, oh God, like what are we going to do with this stuff? And I think everyone kind of had the same reaction. And Margaret then said, she'd done this a lot before, so she sort of said, just don't feel overwhelmed. Like, it seems really huge at first, but then once you kind of go through it systematically, basically stories will start to just sort of emerge. It is that kind of part of journalism that I'm learning, which is that you sort of have to, part of it is trusting your instinct about where the story will come from. And you often, you don't see it at first, and you often just have to sort of go with the feeling that it's there, into the fog, and just hope that it's there at the other end.